In this video, we'll talk about arranging the key features we selected and comparisons we made in the previous videos into one clear and smooth essay. Now, here I have the trend graph from the previous video, and I have the key features, and I have the comparisons. Now, we're going to work with this like a puzzle, and we're going to build our essay brick by brick. Our bricks are already ready. All we have to do is organize them in an order that makes sense, that is logical, clear, and simple to understand. Now, first we're going to work with comparisons and then pick the key features that are directly connected to the comparisons we have. All right, we have the first one. Let's just copy this. We can just copy and paste it. You can do that during the test as well. There's no problem with that. Control C, and we'll go Control V. All right, here I have my first comparison. As I've noticed here, I have two sentences. I have two comparisons, and for some reason, I put them and group them as one comparison. I'm going to remove this and probably going to use it for another part of the essay. All right, the changes in the number of openings between 2011 and 2014 were much sharper than the changes in the number of closures during the same period. So we're talking about the period between 2011 and 14. To prove this, I need data from openings between 2011 and 14 and data for closures between the same period. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Let's start picking. So I have the number of closed shops fluctuated. I'm going to take this. I put here. The number of closed shops fluctuated between 6,007 within the first 3 years. Within the first 3 years, is it until 2014? Let me check. One, two, three. Yeah, that's it. Now I need data for openings until 2014. Let me put it here. Okay, openings. The number of open shops dropped rapidly from just below 9,000 to 2012. Okay, I have only until 2012. So I guess I need one more sentence for opening. So I'm going to pick this one also. There was a partial recovery within the next 2 years. So within the next 2 years, that would be until 2014. Okay, let me put it here. Right? Or not? Yeah, it is until 2014. Now I'm done with my first body paragraph. It was fully about this period, 2011, 2014. And to create this, I first started from the first comparison. All right, now we're going to go with the next comparison. Next comparison is about over this period, there were generally more closed shops than open ones. I was saying the same period, right? So I can just copy this and put it into the same body, uh, just like a concluding comparison or additional comparison. Okay, let's go ahead here. Our next comparison. It's about drop in 2014. All right, let me get it. So both drop in 2014. I can put it in a new body paragraph. If you want, you can put it here, but I think it already looks quite big, and for the convenience of reader, I would rather divide it. It does not really matter. Both dropped in 2014, but the full experience by closures was far more pronounced. Now, I need data to support this. Okay, let's start from, I guess, closures. Over the next year, the number dropped sharply to just below 1,000 to prove this. Just gonna copy, put it here. However, I'll have to change a couple of things here. I cannot say over the next year because I said in 2014. So I'm just gonna remove this. I already have the year. I changed the sentence a little bit so that it can make sense here. So the number of closed shops dropped sharply to just below 1,000. All right, now I need some data on openings. Here, over the next year, the number returned dropped to the 2012 level. I'm not going to say over the next year, I just need this part, the number. I'm going to change the word number to open shops because we don't know what number it is. Maybe here it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense here. So I have to change it. Okay. The number returned. I guess I'm going to remove dropped here. Return sounds better. To the 2012 level. Okay, I guess I'm going to keep this as body too. So here I'm dividing my bodies based on comparisons. So my reader probably will be able to follow this based on this logic that I present. And you can structure an essay the same way. All right, we're going to go ahead. We'll have the last comparison here. Towards the end of the period, both the number of opened and closed shops remained relatively stable. though there was a slight drop in the figure for the former. Again, if you haven't watched the video selecting the key features of a trend graph and comparing the key features of a trend graph, there is no use of watching this video right now. Okay, let's go ahead here. It's going to be a new paragraph. Okay, it's here. Now, to prove this, let me take first close shops, the figure. So I'll have to change this word, the figure. I cannot leave it in the essay. Okay, I'm going to say closures partially recovered. All right, and the next one, about being maintained. All right, this number, then I can keep it. I can say this number because I'm talking about 5,000. 5,000 is a number. All right. Mhm. This number was generally maintained until the end of the period. Now I need data on openings. Here it says it remained relatively stable, but I cannot say it, right? So I'm going to say openings remained relatively stable until 2017. Okay, let me copy this. All right, sentence here. Openings remained relatively stable until 2017. All right, and the last sentence here about openings, I'm just going to again copy this and put it there. 2017, the number of closures dropped by 1,000. Here I made a little change. Here it said in 2017, as you can see here. I changed that to in that year because I don't want to repeat the same stuff here. Just want to reference the number of closures, not closures, that's a mistake, openings. I guess in the previous video I made a mistake here. It should be openings. Now, this is already a high level, well written, well organized essay with sophisticated paragraphing. Now, a lot of people spend a lot of years and a lot of effort to achieve this level. Usually because the way they prepare and the way they write, they plan is very disorganized, and most of them rely on their intuition, on their mood, or just on the difficulty of the graph. However, because we have standards, because we have clear steps, first of selecting, then comparing, and then building the essay, you will be able to produce more or less the same score with every single graph. So it's very important you master every single step and you do not skip them and then you do not try to combine them without any apparent reason. You can make some changes here and add linking words or cohesive devices on your own and then compare with my final version. Here you can see my final version. I added a couple linking phrases and sometimes I added numbers, I combined sentences, and at some points I just added simple words. All of this has been done so that the reader can read my essay a little more easily, so that the reader can follow every single key feature without any effort, which is the very purpose of using any linking phrases or organizing your essay. You will notice I haven't used too many linking phrases, but when I use those, I did this with precision, accuracy, and with a clear reason. However, don't worry if you don't get some linking phrases. We will study those in the next videos. For now, our focus is on selecting, comparing, and arranging the key features.